Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Sheahan, and welcome to Code Conversations. Before we begin this conversation, Code acknowledges that our association spans land across Turtle Island, which is the traditional territory of many Indigenous peoples. We honor them as the original storytellers and stewards of this land. May we never forget their legacies, and may we learn well the lessons their descendants have to teach us about living on and with the earth. We will practice a sign of respect, acknowledge the rich history of these lands and Indigenous nations, honor the truth of the past, and uphold our original treaty, the Two-Row Wampum, to peacefully care for the land and each other through our drama and dance teaching practices. And I right now am coming at you from the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Wendat Huron peoples, right off of the territory of the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte. And I'm going to introduce our guests today, and maybe they could tell me where they're coming from. So we have Heather Newman from Beaver Brae Secondary School, and then we have Sid, Noah, and Caden. And where are you right now?
Are currently in Kenora, Ontario at Beaver Brae Secondary School.
There you go. And I'm sitting in Picton, Ontario at Prince Edward Collegiate Institute. So we're miles away, days drive, if you will. So I brought you together today because in Code Conversations, we like to look at the impacts, barriers, advantages to drama and education or dance and education. And so before we actually begin with the questions I sent, Heather, how long have you been working at Beaver Brae? And how long have you been a drama teacher at Beaver Brae?
So I was really lucky because as soon as I left education to become a drama teacher, Beaver Brae was my first drama teaching job. So luckily enough, this is kind of where I started and where I've been able to work. I started here in 2012. And the program for drama was really, really small then. So I've been trying really, really hard to do a lot of outreach and kind of build the program as I've been here so that we can get more amazing students involved in what we do.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to send this question out to everyone in the room. So whoever feels the impulse to answer first, you can go right ahead. But tell me about your experiences with performing at the school or anywhere else. And what are some highlights that you have?
Acting is just like something that a lot of kids don't get to experience, I think. So that we have the drama program and stuff in such like a small city, I think it's just an incredible experience. And it's not just the acting that is the incredible experience, it's everyone that you meet and all the connections you make along the way. And even though I'm still like one of the younger people in the drama program, I feel like I wouldn't have met any of these people without the drama program or been able to talk to them in general. So the fact that there's some of the people I talk to almost every day, it's just kind of awesome.
Awesome. Noah or Caden, you want to answer that too?
I've really only been part of 4 productions, but already I've had some of the greatest moments of my life. Some of the greatest moments of my life acting and being a part of this creative process and being around these amazing people. Drama to me is all the experiences that I've had. I don't think I would have had anything comparable to it without a program like this.
Amazing. Yeah, no, you're just nodding along. You're like, oh, they've already said it all.
Yeah, they basically said everything. This is a wonderful program. It's the perfect place for it to be because here in such a small rural community, we don't have a lot you can do. Mm-hmm. So to have a place that's such a big creative outlet for everyone, we all feel like a family here, and it's really amazing.
Well, it's funny. You kind of already hit this next question, but I'm going to ask it anyways because we might get more specific with some specific challenges. But do you think there are challenges with pursuing performance in Northern Ontario, and why not? So that could be just as an outlet or even professionally.
Yeah, I mean, there are tons of challenges. Here, we don't really have, especially in northwestern Ontario, there is really no area to see professional theater. Communities further out from us, like Fort and Dryden, they have to drive 4 or 5 hours to see a professional play. We're lucky because we're a little closer, only a 2-hour drive, but still, that's not very accessible to a lot of people.
I'm just going to jump off what Noah said. Another issue that we face in terms of when it comes to getting funding and stuff for field trips, a lot of the funding in Ontario is for stuff within Ontario. So
Yeah.
for us, because we are in Ontario, but our nearest city is Thunder Bay, which is a 7-hour drive away. The most accessible theater for us to go to is in Winnipeg, but we sometimes can't access that theater and that drama and those experiences and those productions because it's in another province.
And that doesn't make any sense. I mean, you're enriching the experiences of students in Ontario with the closest access point they have.
Exactly. So as a teacher, I get very frustrated by that because there's so many amazing opportunities in Winnipeg, and unfortunately, we can't always go to them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are some other anyone else, any challenges that you think you face being in an isolated community?
Some challenges I think that we also do face is I guess publicity of like our shows and whatnot. Like even though it's like such a small community, a lot of people don't view like a high school play as like something that can be as big of an experience as like a professional one. But like we have, like, I believe that we are able to like perform well and perform like to a high level, as well as entertain crowds that like people don't really give a chance, especially in a small town, and like
until they come and see our very high standards.
Hey, you know, I've been in your space before, and it is pretty amazing. So, I mean, like, it's I wish I could transport that space into my classroom, which is a great classroom. I'm not knocking my classroom, but it's a great space.
Yeah, I felt really lucky this year because we did a production of Wonka, which all 3 of these students were in, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Amazing.
And for the first time in my entire career teaching here, and I don't know if it was because we really pushed publicity hard, like this crew, they really stepped up and did a lot of their own advertising. Noah organized a Christmas parade with Caden. But we advertised really hard this year with Wonka, and the most amazing thing was every single show of our 6 shows was sold out, and that's never happened
amazing.
before.
That's really great.
But it was because honestly, these students took so much initiative and decided to really push for that publicity aspect, which I'm super proud of them all for doing.
You know, and that actually really pushes me to a question that I wasn't even going to ask, but like from all the students there, what do you feel are some of the skills or talents you developed even beyond acting? Just being, because I mean, like I'm thinking about advertising, I'm thinking about the ability to sell, market. Like, what are some things that you feel, especially the grade 11s and 11 and 12, Caden or Noah, like that you've developed that can be applied so many different places beyond the theater?
Yeah, definitely marketing. I think being able to see talents everyone has, like I wanted to reach out to like any friend I had in the school and say, hey, we need help with the show. And first I'd say, I don't know how to act, I can't do lights. And I'd say, well, you can do the other thing backstage. Can you paint? You know, can you do a voiceover? It's just good to see that everyone can provide something.
Amazing.
Yeah, like a big part of like drama is also like socializing, like especially after COVID, like we didn't really have as much social like aspects or social like outlets, and like drama is very much a social activity, and like you need to like communicate with people, you need to like get along, and you need to like work well with everyone. And I think it's like those kind of skills really, especially nowadays, help like are something that really help me like in life, I guess.
It's really transferable, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. No, because I mean, it's funny because I mean, like, we sell a lot of times. We'll sell like in a lot of areas like drama in that sense, right? Oh, and all these transferable skills, but it's so true. I mean, the marketing, the problem solving, the ability to plan events and whatnot, and see those things through the end, that perseverance and resilience that you have to have, especially when like going through the entire creative process. So what do you think is the most important thing the children in northern communities or anywhere where some opportunities that we've already talked about are maybe not as accessible need to know prior to getting into performing or getting into performance? What kind of advice would you give?
I think the advice I would give to younger people trying to get into performing is talent is everywhere. You don't have to come from a big city to be good at acting. If you really care about it and you put in the work, the product you'll make will be amazing.
Awesome.
I would say like to not be afraid to like talk to people in the group once you join, because I know for the first like 2 years I was in the play sport, I didn't speak to anyone outside of my friends. And then during like living in Malta, I actually started talking to people a lot more and like met a lot of people that I wouldn't have been able to meet or wouldn't have talked to if I didn't start reaching out more.
Sid joined when she was in grade 7. She was one of we call them the littles. She was one of our littles who joined like right off the hop when she came to the big school, which has been so lovely that we get to work with her and kind of see her grow.
That's awesome.
I see like just if not drama, find something that you can like find like a friend, like a group of friends that you can actually trust and like that are there for you, like whether in anything that you're doing or just as like a friend, because drama especially like it's such like a supportive environment and like you're able to meet so many people and it's like join something but hopefully drama.
No, I mean, I know, yeah, I agree. I think that we all need to be open to different experiences and learning about all aspects of ourselves. And I think that if no one's ever done performance, I mean, like, I stumbled into drama myself, and now I've been a drama teacher for 20 years. And it's interesting how it just kind of happens, right? And you kind of latch onto things. So you've kind of answered this question, but I'm going to ask it anyways, because I think that for each of you, you could really expand on this a little bit more. How important has opportunities to perform been to you overall?
So because of like since joining drama, I've like discovered my passion to it, and I'm actually thinking of pursuing drama education, like what Miss Newman does. And it's had a very big impact on like what I see for myself like doing for the future, and yeah.
Amazing.
So I was kind of forced into drama my first year because my older sister, she done almost her entire high school career, and she just really pushed me to be in it. And honestly, I didn't think I would like it, like had no clue. And then I was in Robin Hood, and I remember just how like it's such a great like experience and how much I enjoyed it. So then I kept doing it, and I didn't know how good it would feel to have such a good support group around you, and like be able to have a place to go at least twice a week to almost every day a week. Like especially going through like harder times, or even if you're just like not feeling that great, being able to go to a place where you can just like really be yourself and not have to worry. Just I feel like that's a good opportunity that a lot of kids should be able to reach out and have. So.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Noah?
I mean, both being said, yeah, performance, man. Me these past 2 years I've been doing it. Like Caden, I'm pursuing a career in drama after high school, and like Sid said, it's something you can really rely on throughout the school year. Just knowing you get to go do something that you love, you're gonna be surrounded by people that you love that love you, and it's good.
That's awesome. I got one question for Ms. Newman before we leave here, Heather, because I mean, like, I thank you so much,
Yep.
everyone, for your answers. It's been great. So you said that this has been the school you've worked at, like, for your whole career teaching drama, correct? So
Yeah, I've only been at Beaver Brae.
So, what has been like for you? What's the most enriching part of working in that particular school community and that community, working with these students?
So for me, looking at like my background is I grew up in Fort Francis, which is, you know, again, another Northwestern Ontario community. I was really lucky in that I had a really supportive family that really valued the arts, and they would take me to see shows and things like that. But I remember when I left Fort Francis and I went down to Southern Ontario to pursue theater, I felt like no one knew where I came from. And I felt like I was lucky to have gotten where I had gotten to, but I didn't have as much experience and as much training as I felt I might have needed to be comfortable in that environment, because I felt like I was always 3 or 4 steps behind everyone else. Because I just didn't know things, because I was from this isolated rural region. So as soon as I got this job here in Kenora, my number one thing has been not only to provide this safe, creative space for people, because let's be honest, up here, if artistic spaces like this are really important because they help us find support systems that we might not find otherwise. So that was the number one thing for me. But the other thing was, my goal is, if I ever send any of my students out to study theater, to study drama, to study any type of performance production, I want them to go away secure in themselves. I want them to go away confident in their abilities. And I want them to go away with basically the knowledge that they need to feel like they belong in those environments. So I actually had a really rewarding conversation with Sid's older sister, Trinity, about a week ago, because Trinity just finished her first year at York in their drama program. And she came
Amazing.
back. And I think the first questions I asked her was, I said, did you feel like you had everything you needed? And she said she absolutely did. So that for me is the feeling of like, okay, I think what's happening is good, because I just want you guys, if you do leave the North to pursue this, to feel comfortable and confident in what you know.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Heather, Sid, Noah, and Caden. That was amazing. And I wish you all the best. And I hope to come visit and be in that space again with you sometime soon.
Yes, next code conference in Kenora when it happens.
It'll be bigger than the last time, bigger and better.
There we go.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.